Taking our dog for its daily, twice daily, 3 times daily walk should be our greatest pleasure, but not if they pull on the lead. Now, I've spent most of my professional life dealing with this problem of dogs that pull on the lead that are horrible to take for walks. Bounce here used to be one of those dogs, no longer so because we trained him the Halti way. And now, in 2013, we have a new style of Halti called the Halti OptiFit, and I want to introduce it to you. This is my little friend Tia, who's been wearing a Halti for a good long while, and she was, in her younger days, a terrible puller on the lead. And of course, if you steer the head, the body has to follow. And that's the theory behind Haltis, and indeed many designs of head collars that are on the market. But what I've done from this traditional design of Halti to the OptiFit is as follows. Firstly, we've simplified it by reducing the number of sizes from 6 just to 3. But also, we've got these side members which float, which move. They adapt to the optimum shape and size of the dog's head. Now, that optimum position would be very different for a borzoi with a long nose compared to a boxer with a broad nose. We also have this cam lock system which allows me to adjust the length of the nose section, so that again for a short nosed boxer it will be not falling off his nose all the time, and a lot longer for a dog like a borzoi. So 3 sizes, very simple to fit. Comfort is a key criteria for a good head collar, and that's always been my concern with Haltis. And with this one, as in the classic Halti, I've padded it so that it is very comfortable on the dog's nose. Should always fit well away from the eyes, which many types of head collars gouge up into the dog's eyes. Haltis never have, and this one is no exception. One feature benefit of the Halti OptiFit is that I've incorporated a little strip of 3M reflective material here as a safety feature for a dog at night in trafficked areas. The one final feature benefit of all Halti products has always been that we provide a free part of the pack safety link between the dog's regular collar and the Halti. Of course, you attach the lead to this ring here, and so you still have the dog under control from his nose. So in the event of the dog breaking free from his Halti, you've still got him attached via this safety link to the D-ring of his regular collar. So in summary, I and my able team of designers at the Company of Animals believe that we've come up with the optimum design of head collar. It's comfortable, it's very effective, and it's very adaptable to the different sizes and shapes of dogs' heads. So these are my 3 personal dogs: PC small, Bounce medium, and Jason large. And the Halti OptiFit will fit dogs smaller than PC or quite a bit larger than Jason here. But these dogs don't have to wear head collars for all of their lives, and I want to show you how in the rest of this film you can graduate from using a head collar, a Halti OptiFit, to eventually having them walking on a lead attached to a collar, to a harness, and ideally having nothing at all. In other words, willing and wanting to walk beside you on your walks in the countryside. This is a story about head collars, about how mere humans can control animals which are many times their size. Big horses, camels, goats, llamas, they all get managed with head collars. So it seemed a very natural progression to move from a head collar made for this little rescue Dartmoor pony called Jez and his best friend Dart. Come on. And of course, even at their 300-400 kilos, these little ponies are way stronger than I could manage if I had them on a collar around their necks. The horse world has always used head collars, as did the Incas with llamas in South America. It's now 30 years since I invented the original Halti, designed to lie away from superficial nerves and other sensitive structures on the head. The Halti has changed the lives of millions, allowing people to control powerful pets that otherwise had no future. By guiding his head, a dog's body has to follow. And this head collar is not a cruel device. You wouldn't dream of controlling a horse any other way than with a head collar, possibly with a full-scale bit and bridle. And really, if you've got a big dog, a dog the size of a Great Dane, it's a very logical thing to fit a head collar. And we're going to be showing you in this film how to fit a Halti. This is not the Halti of 32 years ago. It's evolved over the years, and now the new Halti OptiFit is more comfortable, easier to fit, and more adjustable than all of its predecessors. That's saying nothing against the original Halti, but we've improved it, as you would expect, as everything has improved in the last 30 years, hasn't it? Well, this is Shyla. She's going to become the ultimate pulling dog. Of course, she's a husky. Huskies are designed to pull sledges in the Arctic, But in suburbia and worldwide, they're becoming a very popular city dog. And of course, most of them come to us with pulling problems. And as you can see here, she's still very cute, but still has learned to walk ahead of her mistress on walks. And translate that now from this little 5 kilo dog into a 30 kilo husky when she's fully grown, and she's going to be quite a challenge. Offer food through the Halti. Come on, darling. And again. So associate Halti with a very nice experience of having her favourite treats. We have a safety link which is supplied free with the OptiFit, but she won't need that because I'm going to use the double-ended leash system here. And there we go. So the secret of the Halti OptiFit's comfort for dogs and why it's so accepted is that these side little units here slide up and down and they naturally follow the contours of the dog. The important thing for Shani here is that she can pant. You can see that she's got her mouth open, which is really important in hot weather or during exercise. And there's no great restriction placed on how much she pants. So I've just lowered the cam lock so that she can open her mouth fully. If she were a short-nosed dog or was still struggling, I would shorten the cam lock. But she's just ready to go for a walk. So let's see how she does with her owner, Elizabeth. I note that Elizabeth is using a double-ended lead, which gives the most perfect and safe control. By pulling on the collar, she accelerates forward movement of Shana. By pulling on the Halti, she steers her away and slows her down. Well, Elizabeth, thank you for bringing Shiloh. It's 2 months since we were here last. She's grown into a fabulous little adolescent, teenager. I presume that you must have 1 or 2 little complaints about her, or is she just as perfect as she is this morning?
Well, I'm slightly biased. My dog's always going to be perfect. But she's been doing really well. We've been walking her with the Halti OptiFit, and it's really helped her pulling.
Yeah.
We also walk her off the lead quite a lot, and we're doing some recall training with her. But all in all, she's starting to do really well, and the Halti has helped a lot with her pulling issues that we had in the beginning. Good.
Well, look, I just want to check, because she's started off 2 months ago when she was a wee puppy on the small OptiFit.
Yes,
I'm going to see if she's graduated now into the next size up, obviously the medium. And, oh, thank you very much, darling. Where are you? Oh, easy off. And here we are, darling. Oh, yes. Good girl, you're such a good girl. Well, I suppose she's used to wearing her OptiFit now, isn't she?
Yeah.
All right, and a treat again, because you can't treat her enough. Now, I'm going to be tightening this up. Now, this medium size actually fits her really quite well. So Bounce here is wearing the large Halti OptiFit, but he could equally well be wearing the medium size. My little dog PC, well, he's about a 15 kilo terrier, and he's just on the upper size limit for a small size Halti, which fits him fine, or we can adjust down the size of a medium sized Halti. Traffic is everywhere a danger for dogs. One mistake and disaster will follow. This is when Halti becomes the #1 life preserver for dogs in the city. Have a look at this dog, Kaiser. He weighs the same 7 stones as his mistress. He could easily pull her into serious danger with traffic, but with the Halti, she's been perfectly in control. And we'll be hearing from Kaiser's owner later, Jane. What could be more natural than Kaiser wants to greet another dog, but again, by doing so in a public place, he becomes out of control. He becomes a danger to his owner, and if he were aggressive, of course, he'd be a danger to the other dog. Here Kaiser's being introduced to sheep, and I've no doubt that if you're off the lead, he could do terrible damage to them. And of course, he places himself at risk. Dogs in the countryside with livestock around have to be under good control. And with his weight advantage, that means he has to be on a Halti.
Having the Halti has actually enabled me to walk Kaiser out. Without it, I would not have been able to control him at all on a normal collar. So this has helped me walk him out, take him places that I wouldn't have been brave enough to take him. It's made me less tense, it's given me more confidence, and made him less tense and given him more confidence. In a way, it's saved his life, and he's still with me, and hopefully he'll be with me for a long, long time.
This is Charlie, a boxer dog who was rescued from a pretty bad situation. Now, of course, it's very difficult with dogs with short noses, like boxers and even more extreme English bulldogs, to fit any kind of head collar. But with the Halti OptiFit, because it's got this adjustable strap underneath with the cam lock, we can shorten it so that it still makes a comfortable fit and doesn't just fall off the end of his nose.
Charlie's a really difficult dog to find a head collar to fit him because of his short nose, and where this head collar is really good is that it has this safety clip here which can be adjusted, so it prevents the noseband from coming over his nose if I tighten it up, and then it prevents him from coming in there and then inside his mouth and starts chewing. So if I tighten it up here, it won't go over his nose and it can't come up for him to chew.
Now, Haltis are not just for big bruiser dogs, they're the right thing for little dogs like Halti here. She's been towing her mistress around the streets and is a real puller, and what a difference a Halti makes for her. These are two of my patients. This is Jason, a lovely German Shepherd, and his best friend Marley. Both of them have been brought to me following a court case, a conviction of his owners, or their owners, for having a dog that was dangerously out of control, a dog-on-dog aggression case. They're going to have training with me to be nicer to dogs, and then they'll go off and hopefully be rehomed. But I want to show you with Jason how we can use the Halti OptiFit in different configurations, which will make him a much more easily and safer dog, and therefore his prospects of being rehomed much improved. With Jason here, anyone would call him a large dog, but actually the Halti OptiFit, large or medium, would fit him very nicely indeed. So I'm going to offer the food through the OptiFit. And he's not used to wearing a head collar of any design. And at least it's got the safety link, which all Halti products come with. You may well have an extending lead like this, and that will work just fine. Now he's fussing it, which is quite normal in any design of head collar. Hey. I'm going to give him a few minutes just to get used to it, to take treats through it. That's it. So this is a conventional single-ended lead, and off we go, young man. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Go on, Jason. Jason, here. Now, I'm no great fan of this type of short lead made of metal chain. Can't be comfortable for the dog, certainly not comfortable for the handler, and it places an unnecessary strain or weight upon the dog's head, which after all is a sensitive part of his body. I have to say my preferred format for walking a dog on any type of head collar, and particularly for this OptiFit design, is to use a double-ended trigger hook design like this. And this is the Halti lead, specifically made for Halti products. Jason, sit. Jason, sit. Sit. So Jason is now ready to go for retraining amongst other dogs and amongst sheep. And if he passes all those important criteria of safety, I'll be looking for a very nice home for him. Now, because Marley is a short-nosed dog, this is where the cam lock adjuster on the OptiFit is so useful. I'm going to shorten it. So that he will have more difficulty in getting this off, if at all. It's a very important safety feature, and particularly appropriate for, of course, short-nosed dogs. Good boy, good boy. Come on, Marley. Yeah. So I'm using the full length of the 8-meter extending lead. Come on, come. Good boy. Hey. Marley. Good boy. And Marley, sit. And Marley, stay. And Marley, come. Good boy. And Marley, sit. Okay. Come on. And sit. So a little bit of fussing and struggling is quite normal in a dog. When he accepts wearing the OptiFit, I should be slackening off the cam lock, and that will make it more comfortable. For the moment, I've got it quite tight, quite restrictive, It's well away from his eyes. This is a very deep, jowly sort of design of dog, a lovely Rottweiler. Come on, young man, off we go. So Elizabeth, I think you're at the stage now where we'll introduce her and you to the principles of clicker training.
Okay.
Clicker has been used for years for training marine aquaria animals like dolphins and performing whales, but it actually has a really useful role in training dogs. And we can train dogs to do quite extraordinary things, like dance heel work to music, and useful things like finding explosives and helping disabled people. So it's really a nice reward-based approach to dog training. And for her, what we can do is every time that she does the right thing, she's going to have a click. But the preliminary is that every time I offer her a treat, she gets some preliminary training to be associated with a click. So the click is basically a very positive, good girl expectation.
Okay.
And I'm going to drop it on the floor. So each time she finds and discovers food, there is a click. So pretty soon she's going to associate this click with, wow, I'm doing the right thing. And in this case, I'm walking to heel, or I'm coming back to you on a recall command. And these are just basic obedience traits that we want to have in a dog. So let's go for a walk. And another treat. And bring her in, and that's good. That's really good. That's nice. That's very nice. And good girl. Come on. I've now detached the lead from Shiloh's OptiFit, linking it to her collar alone. We're working towards the head collar being no longer required, and you will see first Shiloh, then my Labrador Bounce graduate to walk nicely to heel on a collar and lead. And she's walking so beautifully, you know, so I'm putting no tension on the lead. Well, Elizabeth, I think we've made such good progress that we can move to phase 3 of training to walk to heel the OptiFit way, which is, of course, to take the OptiFit off, to completely fade it out, and just to walk her on her regular collar.
Shy.
Shiloh. Hey. Oh, and she does look up at me, actually. She's quite good. So now we're free of the need to use a head collar of any sort. It's a position preference. I want to walk close beside me because that's where I get treats, and the treats, of course, are associated with the clicker. Good girl. Come, off we come. So Bounce has now been trained the Halti way not to pull on the lead. He walks nicely beside my knee, and it's time to start fading out the use of the Halti. We do this by initially disconnecting the Halti, but just walking him on his regular lead attached to his collar. Come on, Bounce, come on. So this is just a little bit speeded up. It might take you at home with your dog days, even weeks to get to this stage, but remember, we target him for being close beside us and not pulling ahead. So now I'm going to take off the Halti completely. So off we go. Come on, young man. Bounce, come on. Come on. For being beside me, but not being behind me or in front of me, I target, I click him. And Bounce, come. And Bounce, sit. He obeyed, I clicked him, I treat him. So there you have a process that might take you weeks. It's taken me minutes in this video, but it was faked because he's already trained. He has been trained the Halti way. I can only say that it has dramatically changed the lives of so many people. So the Halti concept is 30 years old this year, but we've still got a lot of things to benefit and to learn, a lot of millions of dogs that are going to appreciate the wearing of a Halti, a lot of owners who will not have to give up their dog for rescue, even have them euthanized because the dog is frankly stronger than them and can dangerously pull them into traffic, get into dog fights and all those other hazards of 21st century living. So use a Halti, use it kindly, use it intelligently. Remember that it's a means to an end. It's not necessarily the initial cure. The cure will come from your using best dog training practice, using reward-based methods of training and using a clicker. So there you are, and enjoy your dog and enjoy training your dog and have a great life together.